Hi, my name is Dr. Natasha Bouillon. I'm a family physician at One Medical, and today I'll be answering questions about fertility.
How do women donate eggs?
First of all, if you decide to become an egg donor, that is very generous of you. The first step in that process is we usually go through a screening process. That is where you might get asked questions about your health history, your travel history, etc. Then you start taking medications that help get your body ready to start donating an egg. And then the next step is we need to trigger ovulation. You take more medications to trigger ovulation. One of the final steps in the process of donating eggs is you end up seeing a doctor in person, and they will actually retrieve the eggs from you, usually under IV sedation. From beginning to end, it takes about 3 to 5 weeks.
Can egg donation cause early menopause?
No. There is a growing body of research out there that shows donating your eggs and taking those hormones does not trigger early menopause. Your body will still have menopause at the time it was going to anyway. And oftentimes menopause is driven by our own family history.
Is female fertility hereditary?
There are some conditions that are linked to our family history that can make it a little bit harder to get pregnant. For example, things like cystic fibrosis or Fragile X syndrome. But a lot of times we're able to get pregnant without thinking about our family history.
Does female fertility decrease with age?
Yes, female fertility does decrease with age. We are often the most fertile in our 20s. Every time we ovulate, we have about a 25% chance of getting pregnant. When we hit age 30, that changes to a 20% chance of getting pregnant. And then by the time we hit age 40, it's about a 5% chance of getting pregnant.
Should I freeze my eggs?
Deciding to freeze your eggs is a very personal decision. And for some people, it's the right decision. It allows some people to delay child rearing and childbirth until they feel like they're ready. The thing is, it's still not a guarantee that if you freeze your eggs, you will get pregnant in the future. I recommend that you follow up with a primary care physician, talk about the risks and benefits, and you can decide if it's right for you.
How do female fertility tests work?
There are a lot of tests out there for female fertility. There are a certain category of tests that will look at things like your hormones, your thyroid. Outside of lab tests, there are other things we can do, like ordering an ultrasound and making sure that everything looks okay. The other tests that we can do, doctors sometimes can inject a dye into your uterus and your fallopian tubes to ensure that they're open and they're flowing well. There are a whole range of tests out there to test your fertility, starting with blood tests to imaging to procedures.
Why do female eggs die?
It is just a part of our lives. So when we're born as females, we have about 1 to 2 million eggs at birth. By the time we hit puberty, the egg count has already dropped to about 300,000. As we go through puberty, I think there's a myth out there that we only release 1 egg per cycle. And that's true, only 1 egg goes through ovulation, but there's often another 1,000 eggs during every cycle that are attempting to go through ovulation. We tend to lose eggs every single month, and by the time we hit menopause, we oftentimes don't have any eggs left.
Is it safe to get pregnant at 45?
These days, it is possible to get pregnant in your 40s. It does have some increased risks, but there are risks that we are able to manage.
Can egg donation cause infertility?
No, that is a myth. If you decide to donate your eggs, it is a big process because you are going to be taking hormonal medications, but that will not impact your long-term fertility.
Are you infertile with endometriosis?
No. Endometriosis is a condition where the tissue of the uterus will sometimes appear in other places in your body. Now, it's true that for 1/3 of women with endometriosis, it is a little bit harder to get pregnant, but it's not impossible. There are a lot of techniques that we can use, and there are doctors that can help you if you're interested in pregnancy.
Are you infertile while breastfeeding?
No, that is also a common myth. The reality is, while you're breastfeeding, your prolactin levels are higher, and so it's often suppressing ovulation. This is not a 100% guarantee. And the reality is that after you've actually delivered and had a child, you might ovulate before your first period. So you might not even know when you're ovulating. So we tell people when you're breastfeeding, if you're not planning pregnancy, you should use a form of contraception. Fertility is a really important topic in medicine because we all have the right to plan our pregnancy pregnancies and become parents when we want to. There's often shame surrounding people who are struggling with infertility or struggling with getting pregnant, and I don't want them to feel ashamed. I want you to feel comfortable talking to your primary care doctor because we're here to help you have children if that's what you want.